We want to start by reminding you that Ustream is not on. We can no longer be shooting Ustream because all of our equipment that we are using and we've been using for Ustream over the years are outdated and they are no longer working. They don't work anymore. So because of that, those of you who love to watch the program live on Ustream, you can no longer have it available. Um, Whenever people make contribution to purchase this, we need like about 3,000 US dollars to be able to meet every equipment we need right now. And we need about 5,000 US dollars to be able to pay our rent, internet, phone services, and so on. And part of the job that I'm doing that a lot of people do not know is that I help stop people from committing suicide, and I also help people to get healed mentally. It's a lot of work that I do in a day. And I'm not paid for this. So I am looking for people who are not just donating to the ministry, but people who are going to give to me for my personal sustenance. That's what I'm looking for. That's what we call the Dekai Mary Small Circle of Friends. I am going to have Renee and the rest of them to look into that, to adjust and see how they can work on that, because I need certain people around the world who can support me personally. I'm not talking of my ministry. I mean me personally. And then I also need people who will support the ministry itself. All right, we will go from here. Let's go to the word and the prayers for this morning. Now, let me tell you something. What we do here is very, very important to me. It might not be important to a lot of people. Daily prayer is the life wire of power. If you don't have this, you can easily be depressed, be defeated, be overwhelmed, be run over by things that you shouldn't. And also, I do this because I have to be obedient to the will of the one who owns me. Let's go to Matthew 5 and let's look at verse number 35. It says, "Nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king." And we've talked about that. God sometimes chooses a place in a particular civilization or a particular generation or a particular era to dwell there. That is not him coming to live there, but his presence and power will be seen there. And then there will always be one or two people at a particular time or more who exercises and carries the manifestation of God's presence and power. And I've talked to you about cosmic gateways. I just made an introduction into those things. I don't think I should get into it anymore. I should leave it the way it is. I'm going to have some time to deal with it properly. Most of the things you see me have on YouTube are introduction into the real things that I'm doing about a particular topic. All right. I also share with you that there are people who also carries the ability to open portals. So when I will deal with heaven's gateway, um, uh, supernatural highways, or cosmic gateways, we will discuss that in detail. Because you need to be aware of this so that you take your life very, very serious. Because you can turn your bedroom or where you live into a shrine, into a gateway or a highway between earth and heaven. And God will always be coming there. Your physical body, mind, and spirit could carry this kind of things that I'm talking about. So that when people get in contact with you, they get in contact, they are on the highway to heaven. People sometimes approach me and talk to me about something, and immediately I tell them something. And boom, it goes. Many people do not get answers to prayer when they talk to me because they see me as ordinary. They don't believe what I'm doing. They just come and test and see whether it will work for them. I don't do that. Intention matters. Others come because they have other motives, what they want from me. And because of it, their given prophecy doesn't work because their motive for coming to me is wrong in the first place. Intention matters. People came to Jesus, never got healed, never got prophecy, never got miracles. Why? Because intention matters. They were either sent by devils or sent by the Jewish leaders, or they sent themselves to come and test him, try him, all kind of stuff to see whether he's real, all kind of stuff. They never get nothing. Others came, touched Jesus because intention matters. And they got everything they wanted. Please, I want to refer you to go to the terms of use of our website, what we do. When you donate to our ministry, they are non-refundable. It is there on our website because that's what we use to run some of the things we do. There are prayers that I remember praying for a girl who was having a court issue, very serious court issue. I told her it's going to take time for this prayer to be answered. And then she ran around and around and around. At the end of the day, what I told her came to pass. Calm down. And some people have the audacity to call me and say, what you said did not come to pass. Or what you said about Hillary did not come to pass. And then did you not know that the election was stolen from Hillary? Did you not know that somebody, some group of people have been planning this period for the past 10 years with people outside this country on how to destroy America? And if America keeps sleeping and keep falling under witchcraft, they're going to see what is going to happen to them. This nation will suffer so much because you see this period is already under the radar. Some idiots keep talking about how God chose Trump or how God chose Obama or Hillary. And they don't understand that it's all about permitted to be where you are. And that is why a lot of pastors are going to pay a price for leading the American nation astray. A lot of pastors are going to pay a price for it. Because people have collected money to do wrong. Listen to the next verse here. Some of you have heard me say that this country has come under very serious witchcraft. And now I understand why God sent me into this country to come and begin to do things, because the world is full of sorcery and the practice of magic. And people don't care the repercussion of what they are into. They just want to be leaders. They just want to be in power. They just want to have money. And they don't care how it's going to destroy a lot of people. Look at verse 36. Neither shall ye swear, or neither shalt thou swear by thy hair, or by thy head. Excuse me, let me read it correctly. Matthew chapter 5, verse 36. Neither shalt thou swear by thy head, because thou canst not make one hair white or black. Don't use yourself to swear. Some people swear by their mother's grave, or by their late mother or late father. There is a place in what do you call it? Somewhere in Nigeria. They swear by their mother's Lucy. I'm serious. To really make you know that what they are saying is true. Others swear by their father's bell. You guys should know what I'm talking about. I'm using some sexual expression here. Or by their father's grave or grandfather's grave. Remember, in the days of Abraham, Eliezer was told to come and swear that he will not take Isaac back to where Abraham come from. For those of you who want to die for your family, you don't read the Bible to see that that is not constitutional. That's not Bible-based. That's not how heaven governs. Sometimes heaven lead you away from your family. Go away and don't go back. Abraham was warned, don't go back to your nation. Don't die for your tribe. Don't go back to your family members. Do not go to go and fight over houses and land. Get away so that I can give you something bigger than that. And we don't want to pay attention to that. We want to stick to our family members and die with them. And then they will take us along with them and destroy us and kill us. Abraham asked Eliezer to put his hand on his thigh and swear. And he did. So people have different ways of swearing. I hope you know that the female organ and the male organ is a very powerful thing. Some people use it to swear. It has its root in ancient times. Do not swear by your head. That's what Jesus is saying, because some people swore by their head. The computer of their life. People swore by heaven, or by the planets, or by the sun, or by the moon. I swear by the moon and the stars that are above, things like that. No. Jesus said, no, you don't. You cannot swear by the moon and the stars and the sun. Those are rulers. Those are ruling entities. And we are the biggest rulers in every planet except planet heaven, where God rules with his angels and saints and creatures. Others swore by Jerusalem because it's where the theater of God's activity has played out. Others swear by the earth. So you see, Jesus knew what human beings use in trying to make themselves be authentic or be legal. Here he said, others swore by themselves. And let me tell you what it means that you should not use your head to swear. This is the meaning. Some people will say, if what I'm saying is not true, let me die. Let this happen to me. People use themselves, put a curse on themselves. That's what the real issue is here. And people walk away from saying those things. If I do not return the money I'm borrowing from you, let me die. Let this happen to me. Let cancer, let cardiac problem, let kidney this, let this happen to me. I'll return that money. And when they leave that place, they take it so lightly. And they will not return that money. They will not give you the money they borrowed from you. Some people are eager to sign a signature to get money from a bank, car loan, house loan, or money to do business. And yet inside them, they knew they do not want to refund that money. They know it. When you put your signature there, you're swearing. You are taking a legal swearing, whether you know it or not. It's the same thing like you really know that you don't want to give somebody money, or like my minister or myself, and you send me a check and then you go around and stop the payment. And you call yourself a child of God. If your check is no good or your money order is no good, you are no good. Others think that they've been given the gift of gab to talk and convince people. Salesmanship. And that's the kind of government we have in America today, which is full of lying, witchcraft, deceit, and we think that is public relation. If you can deceive people, then you are a great guy. If you can deceive people and take their money, then you are good to go. Then people will celebrate you that you are smart. And that's the same thing that is coming from India, from Eastern Europe, from Africa. People want to sit down on their computer and send you email about the money that they never have, houses they never have, land they never have. And they tell you they want to marry you. They are pastors and bishops, or they are businessmen or politicians. They use some other person's name. You'll be there at home and you will not know somebody is using your social security or name. Somebody is using your portfolio to do things. That somebody has created many accounts for you and you don't know it. And they come and marry you and destroy you because intention matters. That's what I've learned about people who calls me to cry about their problems, their this, how people did them this and that. And I've learned better that a lot of these people are the ones who are keeping themselves where they are. People are not your problem. You are your problem. You can get away from your problem if you want it. You are the one. Nobody is holding you from becoming anything in this world. You are holding yourself. And you think your husband or your wife or your job and people are holding you. You can change if you want to. And we are here quarreling what this man did against me, what this woman did against me, what this person did against me. And you cannot see what you are doing against everybody else by your attitude. Because poverty is simply an attitude. Annie, please write that down. You are broke and poor and sick because of your attitude towards life. There are things you should do on a daily basis. You'll never be sick so easily. How do you respond to your boss is going to determine whether you are rich, whether you have a job. If you are somebody that is easily angry, you don't take orders from people. A lot of people that has come to work with me or work for me, they don't want to take orders from anybody. They just want to do their own thing. That's why they are where they are. And that's the same thing at the job they have with other people. That's why they don't have jobs. The same thing, that's why they are out of marriages. I'm not talking about the good one who falls into the hand of the bad ones. Because let me tell you, a lot of you are targets. When I will start doing a broadcast on the hunted and the hunter, you will know this. Mary, write that down for me. Victoria, write that down. The hunter and the hunted. You will know. Many of you have been ambushed, targeted by those who are veterans, professionals in the art of prostitution, adultery, fornication, stealing, marriage. They are vets in marriages. They will marry anybody to make money, have a car, do things, and then go to the next. They are vets. There are people who don't have a mind to offer. All they have is their body. They're going to deal with you and destroy you because they have nothing to offer to you. You cannot tap into the resources of their mind. You cannot consult them concerning anything because they don't have anything in their mind. They don't read. They don't think. They are veterans. They are veterans in their area. And when those people come to you, they come with a motive. I've passed through these things and I know it. That's why many single fathers and single mothers should think twice about their motives. Because when once a lot of people have children, they resign or they decide the way they want to deal with other human beings. Because they felt disappointed, they felt something was taken from them, and they start a fight. What stops you? You live in Europe. What stops you? You have your residency. Who is stopping you to start a business? Who is stopping you from going to college and earning a degree and having the best jobs? Who is stopping you? And you are telling me that because you have migraine, something is wrong with one leg or one hand, you cannot become anything. And yet go and see the greatest scientists we have now in the world have no hand. His hand is all shriveled. The leg doesn't work. He sits on a wheelchair. And he's a multi-millionaire. And he's the best in mathematics. The best in physics. And we are all here complaining about one little thing that is wrong with one part of our bodies. You cannot see clearly, it becomes a reason to depend on government. You don't have one eye, that's all you need. That's all you need to get disability and resign for the rest of your life, and your destiny dies. And look at somebody like John McCain. He cannot comb his hair. He cannot comb his hair because of the disability, that the injury he got from the Vietnam War. Others do it for him. And yet he's a senator. I saw Penny, a lady I really like. I think she was born without legs. She sits on a wheelchair. And she's in charge of the social security and administrative something in one of the states. And she drives herself. And she has a master's degree. And those with legs don't have those things. Many of us. No job, no degree. We are sitting down there complaining. I saw a doctor, very fat man, very huge, more than 500 pounds. Cannot really walk. He's on a wheelchair. Because of his legs are very tiny. Because that's the way he was born, but he's a very fat guy. They said the medicine they gave him to keep him alive, make him big. And yet he's a surgeon. Working in a major hospital. Go and look at life is full of people who want to do something with their lives. And not sit down blaming everybody else. Jesus said, you cannot even make one hair black or white. You cannot even create anything that has been created. God has made it all for you. Jesus himself is the maker of the earth and all that we see and do not see. People will come to you and lie to you and tell you, cousin, nephew, mother, father, all kind of stuff, brother. And they borrow your car. And that's the last time you see it. Intention matters. And they will sway. If I don't return this car, let me die. If I don't move out from your house within the period of 1 year and look for my own, let thunder kill me. People say stupid things about themselves, crazy stuffs about themselves. And yet, you give them the key to your house while you live in overseas, or you live in somewhere else, and they move into that house and they start to fight you. They don't want to leave. That's why those of you who want to be merciful, congratulations. Good luck to you. Because the very good thing you try to do for people is the very thing that they will use against you. I've been there. I'm a vet, and I've seen it. I'm a veteran of kindness and mercy and being nice to people. I've seen it all. The same people that you brought your money to pay, make car payment for them. I'm not talking of $100 car payment. Up to $500 car payment. There are people who don't have money. They buy big cars. And they cannot even afford to pay. They call me. I help them. And when you can no longer be sending them money because you say, this is just a one-time thing I'm doing for you to get up on your feet and go. And they begin to talk evil against you. And yet you've helped them many times. And that's why we have to be very careful of who we choose to help. There was something that happened one day. I learned a very big lesson. I've been helping a particular family. And one day I asked one of the person in that family about something. And the person said, oh, we've always been fine. That's what they said. We've always been fine. Well, we didn't ask you to do it for us. I said, really? Which means we are good at where we were. Before we call you and beg for help. And after they got the help, now they have the audacity to say, we didn't really need the help. You have to help people who you know that you are going to forget about them and the help you've given to them, because you are doing it to help humanity and you want the universe to bless you and God Almighty to reward you. Or either you are doing it that way or you are doing it for people who will profit you for the rest of your life. Those are the only two reasons why you should help anybody. Either you do it for somebody and forget about those people. You give one time shot, let them go. No more. You close that door against them. Or you're doing it because they've shown that they are appreciative. That's all. And then when you are in trouble, they can help you back. That's all. If they do not qualify these two qualifications, Annie, make sure you write it down. The two qualifications to help anybody. If people do not meet these two criteria, forget it. Jesus is telling us that a lot of people die because we behave like this. We sway. We put oath on ourselves that we should not, when we rightly know that we should not do it. when you see people begin to sway oath, begin to do take this, do that, make a covenant, make a pact, know that something evil is there. Although some of these things are legal grounds to indicate authenticity and legality of stuff on earth, but there are also some that should be yes or no. Listen to what Jesus said. But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than this comes or cometh of evil. Take yourself very seriously. Make sure you know what you're doing in life. Serious people are people who don't talk too much. Serious people don't talk too much. People who have a destiny and a dream to fulfill in life, they don't talk too much. They are not on the phone too much. I am on the phone because I'm ministry. Outside that, I don't want to be there. Some people think that I'm always on Facebook. And they have no idea that it's somebody else who is in charge of my Facebook and my Twitter. Not me. I hardly go there because I don't have time to even do things for me and my family, talk less of going to Facebook. Serious-minded people with destiny, you ask them about something, or they want to do something, they tell you yes, and that is it. They never go back. Or they tell you no, and that is it, and they never go back. Those who sit back to think and brood and get moody, no. And then they start to talk many things, start to sway many things, all kind of stuff. Look at the life of Peter. You will learn this. Peter was not a person who will tell you yes and stand on his yes, no and stand on his no. He was not that kind of person. But Paul was, to some extent. Peter will tell Jesus many good things Jesus want to hear. And when it came to action, he couldn't deliver. In fact, he started swearing and putting a curse on himself that he didn't know who Jesus was. Seriously. It's there in the Bible. Those who talk a lot, be careful about them, because they will start gossiping you and talking and releasing your secret to other people. Those who talk a lot, those who take certain things lightly, it's just a mere talk. Please don't tell anybody. You're deceiving yourself. Everybody's going to know. So the best thing is don't open your mouth. If you feel that somebody cannot keep your secret, don't invest in that person. Because there are people who don't care anyway. Said everything should be yes or it should be no. You start explanation, you start to go into details, then there is evil. Are you going to do this? I'm going to give you time to think about it. Do you want to be a part of this? Some people come to my ministry really happy. Oh, yes. They've seen me in the internet. Oh, they've heard about the healing, the prophecy that has come to pass, the miracles. Some people are like that. And they just come with their band playing. And I'm looking at them and say, look at this one. How long is this one going to last? How long is this one gonna? The same thing when people join the church, they are like, woo, everywhere. Or they find a pastor that they think they like, woo, they are everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4. It now from fire to ashes, and that's it. They are gone to somebody else to go and destroy that person. Same thing. Some people they want a job. Whew, they rush into it. They put all their power into that job. They do a lot. Woo! After a few days, their boss tell them one thing. They are like they are done. They resign or walk away. Bye. They're the same people who wanted that job. Whoa! I'm paid so and so amount, $20 an hour. All of that. People come to you excited. That's why when people come to me excited and all of that, I sit back to watch you because I'm like, hey, get away from me. Because I don't know how long your excitement gonna last. Same thing, people come into your relationship with all these wonderful talks about relationship and love and all of that. Watch carefully. They are using it to, that is part of their, negotiating tactics to get something from you. They are all excited and jumpy about, watch them carefully. You're going to really know what their motive, intentions matters. Let your yes be yes, or let your no be no. Spend time before you say yes or before you say no. I remember the man that went, he and his wife went to go and get married in a church. And the pastor said, are you willing to take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife in sickness, in pain, in health, in all of that? They enumerated all of that till death do us pass. He said, Pastor, I think we should stop here. Let me go and think about it. He walked away. I've seen women who've done that at the last minute, they walked away. If it is some of us, we will carry through with the ceremony because everybody's pressing us. We are the most beautiful that day. Everybody's coming to do things for, and you don't think about the consequences of what you're doing. That's why I'm not interested in the ceremonies. I'm interested in the practicalities. Do not be interested in the ceremony or the culture or the tradition. Be interested in the practicalities. Please write that down, honey. Because a lot of ceremonies have nothing to do with reality. Has nothing to do with reality. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That is how we stop at verse 37 of Matthew chapter 5 for our morning devotion and prayer. That's where we stop. Yeah, that's where we stop. And I want to remind you, if you want to help our ministry to purchase some equipment, we need about $7,000 to do that. Please contribute. I want to stand here today to thank a very special person that has proven to be one of my mighty, mighty person. There are some people that I'm putting their names somewhere in my life and in my future, in my today, in my future. Because what they have done for me, nobody else has done it since I was born. No matter who has been in my ministry, they've never done it. Go and read. Go and read about David's mighty men. I'm now choosing my mighty men and my mighty women. I do not just choose them because they call me or because they are following me, but it's because they understand me and because they know what my needs are. And they are willing to risk it for me. Go and see what risk people took for David. And that's how they were chosen to become rulers with David. I want to thank Mary of Pennsylvania. I stand here to tell you that she has risked all for me. I want to stand here and thank Ladry because she has risked all for me. Those two women. I'm waiting for other people on earth to prove their mightiness. Because those who prove it gonna become pillars in what I'm doing. Because every great business, every great ministry goes this way. You do not just, you have to say it. There's nothing like hiding it from people. You must. So that people will really know. There are people that I can tap into. This morning I want to pray. Father, give me mighty men and give me mighty women. People whose word is yeah or no. When they say yes, they don't back down. They go all the way to the very end for eternal life. And Lord, I ask for mighty connections this morning. I ask you to bless your people so that they can qualify and enter and become mighty men and mighty women. People who can risk it to build. I ask that this morning, destroy the practice of sorcery and magic among your people. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. We are meeting at 7 o'clock in the evening tonight for our fasting and prayers. For those of you who have not broken your fast, by then we will do that. We'll be meeting. There will be something else that will be, I don't know where the Holy Ghost is going to lead, but there are things that are going to happen. Remember that this month, August, September, we are going to see a real clash of power in America and around the world. It begins in the month of August 2017. I have already said that to you. That's when you are going to begin to see the shift. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Okay. Hallelujah.